Pean Place. Hello. Welcome to my art time-lapse video special-a-thon episode. So, in the month of May 2018, I did a sketch every day. So why did I do it? What was the goal? So everybody loves big awesome paintings and you're just like, whoa, wow. But for me, a huge part of getting to those big paintings is the visual exploration to find ideas and visual spaces that you're excited enough by to take further and develop into bigger pieces of work. So every day in May, I wanted to try new ideas, explore new spaces, challenge myself in different ways, and by the end of the month, have tried a bunch of new stuff. And if by the end of the month I learned one new thing or I found one new idea that I liked, it would be worth it. So now I'm going to play through a bunch of time lapses, talk to you about them, the things I was trying, the things I was thinking as I was doing all this. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a coffee, a tea, maybe a froob if it's a hot summer's day, and we're just gonna have a grand old time. So get ready, you got 3 seconds, let's go. So the first couple days I didn't really have too much of a plan or any expectations. I decided I was gonna start in charcoal pencil for a couple reasons. You can't really rub your lines out, so it meant everything I did had to be very thought out and clear and confident, which is always something good to work on, so charcoal pencil forced me to do that. And also the tips of the pencils are kind of like thicker, stubbier, so the whole drawing style had to be a little bit more simple. I couldn't rely on fancy details to make things look cool, so I used charcoal pencil to create those limitations for myself and to see how I reacted to that. And that was my starting point for the challenge. Also, I wanted to see just how long I could keep using charcoal pencil for exclusively. Earlier this year, I filled an entire sketchbook with experimental drawings. That sketchbook, I allowed myself to use anything and everything. Those were really great spaces to explore, but now I wanted to give myself the opposite challenge by stripping everything away and seeing what I could come up with simply with just black and white lines and shapes. May the 4th, I did a little tribute drawing to everyone's favorite film franchise, the very famous space fight movies. Love those movies, and I just wanted to hit a little drawing to pay homage to that on the 4th. On May the 5th, I wanted to challenge myself with some animal stuff because it's not something I ever really go near. So I started with this wolf thing, and I ended up with this wolf girl. And I liked the vibe of the drawing. I felt like there was more to explore. So for the next couple days, I would explore this theme and see where else it could go. Some days I had very clear ideas about what I wanted to draw, some days I had no idea. This is one of those days where the day before I'd had an idea and I was like, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm totally doing that. And I fucked up the angle there. That's the glory of the working in the charcoal pencil. But this whole type of image, very line-based, very shape-based, wolf, it's nothing I'd ever done up until this point. So already I was exploring new visual spaces, I was making new types of work, and for me that's always one of the greatest things, making new types of work and increasing my artistic freedom within my work. Day 9, I was persevering with the wolf girl theme. I really wanted to keep pushing it, but I felt like I was starting to kind of tread the same ground at this point, so I was looking for something to make it fresh. I love tattoos, I just love the way that they look. So I just kind of got those involved, see how I felt about that, and that kind of took me on to the next stage of the May sketch day with some tattoo inspired stuff. May 10th, I wanted to explore some new techniques, specifically blending stumps, which is something I've seen people get great results out of, something I'd not messed with much myself, so that was one of the goals for that day. And because of that, I wanted to give myself an easier time with the drawing, so I started with a little pencil under drawing. So I had a strong foundation to mess with the blending stumps on top of. They're really cool. I like how broadly you can apply stuff with them. It's almost like painting the values on. I like how smooth the grade is on it. Good stuff. So this was my introduction into the world of blending stumps, and for the next couple of days I would keep exploring it. May 12th, I wasn't sure what to draw, but those days are just as good as the days where I have an idea because I'm willing to try all kinds of stuff. I got nothing to lose. So I wasn't so into this or the shapes I made or anything, but it's just as important to find what you don't like as much as what you do like. They both guide where you want to go next, so this was totally worth my time. You're gonna do drawings you don't like, especially if you're drawing every day. Don't worry about it. Learn from it and move on. May 13th, I decided to go back to the blending stumps because I was having a lot of fun with that. I can see myself using it a lot more in the future. It's just a great tool. I like how it looks. It's fun to use. So I just wanted to try something a little bit more developed with the blending stumps, see how I feel about that, see how it looks, and just keep exploring that visual space. Alright, so day 14 I was starting to get a little bit, I don't know, I did this drawing of Trump. I'm always ranting about him. I just think he's an insane character, so I thought it was about time I drew him. I wanted to do a unique kind of depiction of him where it's almost like it's not obvious whether I think he's cool or a dick. But if you look closely, it's pretty obvious what I think. But this was the first drawing of the May sketch day where I felt like I did something that was kind of interesting, something I'd really not touched on before, so I was pretty happy with the new ground I was breaking in that sense. And also I did the whole thing with the blending stumps, which I'd just been learning the past week, so I felt like I was breaking all kinds of new ground now with the May sketch a day, so I was pretty happy with the results I was getting. And I wasn't even halfway through. Day 15, had no idea what to draw. And on those days, at this point I started just drawing stuff around me. So I drew my little cactus, and I just tried to make him look as handsome and beautiful as he is. And I think he's pretty happy with it. Here's a picture of his little cactus face smiling with his new portrait. Day 16, I thought I hit record, apparently I didn't, so no time lapse. But anyway, I love graphic design, I love working with more abstract spaces, but it's not something I've ever explored too much. But May sketch day was the perfect time to do it, so this was a pass at something more along those lines. I wasn't too into it, but it set the groundwork for something I would do later this month. And then I went to Norway for Oslo Movement Gathering. Me and my boys were invited out to do some tricks and whatnot. It was a tricking, free running, parkour event. They got a lot of great guys out, a lot of mad shit happened. But what it meant is I had to somehow fit my drawings in amongst all that. So our day traveling there, I did this uncanny picture of my boy Omid. Maybe the best drawing of the month. For the other days, I opted for some ink life drawing, trying to be as confident and efficient as possible, given the time frame that I had. On my way home, I tried to draw the plane, but I was so tired I just didn't try my hardest. Later on in the day, I had a second pass and actually tried to experiment on it. Day 21, I finally used a little bit of color. I revisited the wolf theme with something a little bit more graphic to see what that would be like. Day 22, this one's filled with concepts and ideas that I've been trying to get down into a graphic, aesthetic form for a while. So personally, I'm really happy with this one. Day 23, drawing of my poor housemate Kojo, who snapped his ankle while we were in Norway. That felt like something worth drawing, so here he is, and pray for Kojo. And then I drew my camera. I was actually enjoying when I was drawing this stuff from my room. It reminded me of the studies I used to do when I was first learning to draw, and I learned so much from that stuff. Like for example, this one, all those freehand foreshortened circles, that was, you know, homework. But had fun doing it, had great fun, had a great time. Wow, what a great time I had drawing this camera. If you got a camera, go draw it, see how well you do. It's all just squares and cylinders. I think this is one of the days I knew what to draw the least. It's like I was overthinking it, what should I draw? So in the end I just went to like kind of a comfort zone, just figure studies and letting them overlap and kind of messing with them a little bit. Dunno, that's what I do if I don't know what to do. What does it say about me? Then I did the first still life painting I've done in ages. And again, this is something I used to do, so I've had this golden pineapple on my desk for years now. Since I bought it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint that. And I haven't for years! So today I finally did it. It was everything I ever hoped it would be. Had a great time with those triangles. Liverpool, man! Went to Liverpool for a little UK tricks jam. I had grand plans to draw a bunch of PK equipment, but I ended up doing this simple little graphic radio tower thing. Really trying to challenge myself to see how much can I simplify things and still find a way to keep it visually interesting. At this point, I was just like, alright, topic after topic that I keep avoiding. Okay, I like hands, want to draw hands, bang, hands drawn, next topic. One-shot ink portraits, easily, I'm not scared, I'll fucking do it. I was trying to take everything that I thought would be hard or scary and just do it. I was really pleased with this, just the confidence I had with every line. So that's kind of why I decided to start with ink in the first place in charcoal. It's really fun when you just have the confidence to just make each line and just, that's the line that you get. So make that line count. Only a couple days left now, so I cracked out some cheeky colored pencils and I just did a madness. I wanted to use all that confidence I'd been building with the ink and the charcoal and just do something fun and strong. Alright, the grand finale, day 31. What did I draw? That's right, it's your boy Yeezy. His album was dropping the next day, so had to draw Yee. I kind of went a bit mad with this one. There was a couple points I was trying to bring it back. Every time I felt comfortable with it, I tried to do something that I thought was a bit of a cheeky move. Like I added these red accents under his eyes that just made him look so old. That's part of the fun for me. It's like this game where I don't know where it's going and I'm trying to get it to some kind of finish line. And in the process, I learned a lot of stuff. What happens if I try this? How do I get out of that? What did I learn from this? You have to be willing to take risks to get answers to these questions. I wanted the last day to take everything I'd learned over the past month and just try and be fearless, especially as the whole point of this is to explore these zones, not to be scared, not to be too precious, not to have ego, and that makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, that's some of the things I learned. It was a great time. As an example, here's the first more developed painting I did the week after May Sketch Day. And in my opinion, everything about this is a result of the exploration I did throughout the May Sketch Day. And that's it for this episode. Hope you learned something. Hope you had a good time. Hope you'll come round again. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye for now. Bye bye now. Bye bye. Bye bye.